Support for Just Seen It comes from Warner Archive Instant. Streaming hard-to-find movies and TV shows direct from the studio at WarnerArchiveInstant.com. Piper is arrested for possessing a suitcase full of drug money that isn't hers.
What on earth did you do with the money?
Well, grandmother, I wasn't really in it for the money.
Do you know about all this?
No, I didn't.
Sentenced to 15 months, the world as she knows it quickly ends. Piper must adapt to prison life to survive in Orange is the New Black.
Hi, I'm Aaron.
Hi, I'm Salim.
And I'm Leah, and today we're here to discuss Orange is the New Black, the new Netflix series based on Piper Kerman's memoir, where she spent 15 months in federal prison for a drug-related charge. We've all just seen it. What do we think?
It's executive produced by Jenji Kohan, who was the showrunner for Weeds, which was a Showtime show about a suburban mom selling pot to her neighborhood. And there are a lot of similarities to how the show feels. Sometimes you are in amazement at how shocking and terrifying something is, and then the next moment you're laughing at how ridiculous something is.
Really, the point of the show is about Piper's arc, because as the title suggests, she's this vacuous person from a privileged upbringing. And it's really about how she goes from being this empty person to being filled with a personality of sorts.
Presumably.
Well, see, it's interesting that you would say that that's the whole purpose of the show, and I think that you're right, which is to show this idealized, middle-class, privileged, entitled white woman who's quite wafy and attractive and who's got her whole life set up for her and ahead of her, and now she's got to go to prison, and now she's got to deal with the common folk.
Yeah, she mentions that all the time. My life was perfect before I got sent to prison and all this stuff.
Well, that's a problem, though. They hint at and they point at how unfair mandatory minimum sentencing is. It's really kind of ridiculous, failed policy. But wow, gee, we're really only concerned about it when it affects a middle-class, privileged white woman.
I think they set up these characters on purpose based off of your own inclinations of what people in prison are like, but also based off of Piper's inclinations of what these people in prison are like.
And she's kind of a cipher. She's empty. There's nothing there, so that when she gets to prison, everybody else around her is far more interesting than she is.
The prison life itself is just a little too ridiculous for the sake of being a dramatic show.
You leave Litchfield as a skeleton in a body bag. Pow!
I find a lot of the writing to be very good and very solid, but I also find a lot of the construction of the show, the writing and the way it's put together, to be gimmicky.
Yeah.
Look at you, Blondie. What'd you do?
Aren't you not supposed to ask that question? I read that you're not supposed to ask that.
You read that? Well, you studied for prison?
Our lead is Piper Chapman, played by Taylor Schilling, and we also have Jason Biggs playing Larry, her fiancé. In addition, we have Natasha Lyonne playing a prison inmate. There is a very large supporting cast. The standout for me is Laverne Cox, who is a transgendered actress playing a transgendered woman in this prison. We get her story in the third episode, and it's pretty much what kept me interested in the show.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that by the third episode, that's the best part of the show because it's really unique. We don't really get a lot of stories about transgendered people.
Not on television.
Exactly, on television especially, but all the problems that they have to go through, and especially the relationships that they have and how strained those get.
Yeah.
You need some of these. I made my own. Couture. Commissary and carry size 13.
Is that duct tape?
Metallics are very in this season.
So the pilot was directed by Liz Friedman. She is a veteran behind the camera for television. She worked on House for many, many episodes, and she's done a lot of other television, and she does solid work here. And
all the directors do.
And then they rotate. They go through several different directors, guest
directors. It doesn't feel like different directors, and I think that's always
important.
It's a very important part of any television show.
With Jenji Kohan behind creating the vision, and it's a very, very strong, very clear vision that a lot of talented directors get to come in and put their fingerprints on.
It's well made, it's well shot. From a visceral standpoint, I feel like I'm there, you know, everything makes sense, the layouts make sense, the kind of stuff that they have to wear and buy and all the activities, all that stuff works. So it's immersive. The script and the story are a little more important than directorial flourishes.
9.5, right? 10.
Did your feet swell when you went back to boys?
So there's a stylistic choice here. There's flashbacks, which is a bit cumbersome when you focus on Piper because her story is not that interesting. However, we also have flashbacks for the supportive other inmates that are in there, and that's really the best part of the show. Like you said, Laverne Cox's story is probably the most interesting and the most heartfelt.
Orange is the New Black isn't the easiest show to get into, but there are enough redeemable qualities to recommend it to other people, so I say see it.
Its race and class politics aside, Orange is the New Black is entertaining enough with some solid writing, but it doesn't really stick to your ribs, you know, like a shiv. So, stream it.
The show does have issues, and it does start out very rocky, but it's an interesting look at a women's prison with a surprising amount of heart. See it.
So our vote's out up to 2.5 tickets, which is a see it for Orange is the New Black. All right, cheers.
Cheers.
Leah doesn't think so.
Oh, I just.
Support for Just Seen It comes from Warner Archive Instant. Streaming hard-to-find movies and TV shows direct from the studio at WarnerArchiveInstant.com.